testimony you are about to give will be the truth under the pain and penalty of perjury?
I do.
Thank you. Please have a seat. May I inquire, Your Honor?
Yes.
Thank you. Sir, could you please tell us your name and spell your last name for the record?
Justin Rowe, R-O-W-E.
Sir, where do you work?
I'm employed as a detective sergeant with the New Hampshire State Police.
How long have you been with the New Hampshire State Police?
25 years.
What unit of the State Police are you currently assigned to?
The major crime unit.
Just generally speaking, what does the major crimes unit do?
We primarily investigate death investigations, homicide investigations.
Sergeant Rowe, I'd like to ask you, what is an Amber Alert?
An Amber Alert is a emergency alert that law enforcement can issue when we fear for the safety of a child.
So fair to say that an Amber Alert relates to emergency situations?
Yes, it goes out through the emergency alert systems.
So when an Amber Alert is activated, and we'll talk more about that, what happens, generally speaking?
Initially, the call is vetted out by law enforcement. There's usually a request by law enforcement to issue that. Once that criteria is met, there's paperwork that's prepared, and then it goes out through the New Hampshire State Police Communications, through the WIA, the Wireless Emergency Alert System. There's also a press release that goes out. We also partner with New Hampshire Lottery, New Hampshire DOT for the messages that go out. You'll see the signboards on the highways. You know, it's kind of a group effort to get the information of the child and the suspect vehicle out to the public.
Sergeant, you mentioned boards on the side of the highway. You mentioned the press release. You mentioned the lottery. Does an Amber Alert also get distributed through text messages?
Yes, if the subscriber has it set to that, yes.
Okay. And when, just generally speaking, when an Amber Alert goes out by a text message, what happens?
Again, it's through the wireless emergency system, so it goes out from our state police headquarters as the communications software. Once it gets pushed out through that, it goes to various cell phone towers or companies, and it's really at their discretion of how those individual companies distribute that, and again, how the end user, everybody can kind of have their phone set to different priorities.
In the state of New Hampshire, who can authorize an Amber Alert?
The New Hampshire State Police.
So if a local police department encounters a situation that they may believe warrants an Amber Alert, what do they do?
They'll contact the State Police Communication Unit requesting that, and we have state police detectives that are trained in that, and we're on call, and we would respond, and we'll reach out to that requesting department.
Are you one of those individuals with the state police who is trained to respond to these situations?
Yes,
And do you have the authority to authorize an Amber Alert?
I do.
And that relates to the state of New Hampshire?
Yes.
Sergeant, in the early morning hours of March 1st, 2024, did you receive some information related to an Amber Alert request?
I did.
Can you tell us what that was?
So the State Police Major Crime was responding already up to the Berlin Police Department for a death investigation. The lead investigator, Sergeant Mallory Littman, telephoned me, so she was the actual, she was also on call to be the responding detective for the homicide, suspected homicide, but she was also at the time the on-call Amber Alert coordinator for that, so she asked my assistance in taking that piece from her so she could focus on the initial investigation.
What information did you receive about this situation happening in Berlin?
So I was informed that the Berlin Police Department had received some information of that there might have been a shooting victim in their city. They responded, found a deceased female alone in a residence. I was informed that the 2 children and a boyfriend were not accounted for, and the boyfriend's vehicle was unaccounted for.
Were you told the name of the boyfriend?
Yes.
What was the name?
Dustin Duren.
Did you receive any information about the vehicle associated with Dustin Duren?
I did.
What information was that?
I received the plate number and the make and model of the vehicle.
What were those?
It was I believe a 2017 Subaru Impreza color white. It had New Hampshire veteran plates, V as in Victor 69023.
After receiving that information about the situation and about the defendant, Mr. Duren and his vehicle, did you also receive some information relating to the two children, including their names?
Yes, I did.
Were those Elowen and Valen?
Correct.
After receiving all that information, did you authorize the Amber Alert?
I did.
And about what time did you authorize that Amber Alert?
It was broadcasted, I believe, at 3:46 a.m.
Was that 3:46 a.m. on March 1st, 2024?
Yes,
Did that Amber Alert go out via text message as well as those other means that you mentioned?
I believe so, yes.
And what did that Amber Alert contain? What information?
So it had the Mr. Duren's information, his vehicle information. It had the information of the two children, their ages. We had photographs of Mr. Duren, the two children that were attached with that as well.
Thank you. I have no more questions.
Thank you. Okay. Can Detective Sergeant Rowe be excused?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep, thank you, sir.
Penalties of perjury.
Yes.
Thank you. You may be seated. Ms. Campbell, you're all situated. There's some water there and a pitcher next to you if you do decide that you need some, okay?
Okay.
If you can just make sure, I'm going to do the same, that microphone is a little bit closer to you so that it can be picked up. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Now, Ms. Campbell, could you please state your name for the record? I know I've said it, but we need to have you go ahead and say it. And if you could spell your last name?
Carolyn Campbell, Campbell.
Thank you. Ms. Campbell, are you currently employed?
Yes, I am.
In what capacity are you employed?
I work at a fire department as an administrative assistant.
Okay. Now, I want to draw your attention to a specific date and time. So I want to ask you, on March the 1st of 2024, so last year, March, on that date, did you become aware of an Amber Alert?
Yes, I got woken up to it in the morning.
How'd you get woken up?
My phone just started making noises I have never heard, and I saw it. I did go back to sleep for a little bit.
Okay. Did you have plans for March the 1st of 2024?
Yes, I did. I was going to meet my daughter down in Keene to take a trip up to Vermont to a previous job of hers to drop stuff off.
Okay. Now, you, at the time, were you living near Keene?
About 50 minutes away.
Okay. So at some point that morning, you left your home and you traveled to see your daughter?
Yes.
And was she living in Keene?
Yes.
Okay. And it's going to sound like a really silly question, but you drove yourself from your home to your daughter's home?
Correct.
Okay. Once you got to your daughter's house, can you tell us what happened?
Well, actually, all the ways there first, I was looking for a vehicle that they had announced on the Amber Alert. So all the ways there, I was looking. And when I got to her house, that was the first thing she said to me, "Did you get an Amber Alert?" And I said, "I did."
What vehicle did you spend that 50-minute drive from your home to her home looking for?
It was a white vehicle with a license plate of V as in Victor 69023
Okay, that's a license plate you remember to this day.
to this day.
How is it that you remember that number?
I was a dispatcher for the sheriff's department out in Las Vegas.
Okay, so the number stuck with you.
Yeah, because I looked for, I couldn't tell a Subaru from a GMC, but I can tell you a license plate. And all the ways there, I looked for that license plate.
Anything specific about that license plate besides the number that stood out to you?
The V for Victor, which is a veteran's plate, so I remembered it was a veteran's plate.
So while you were driving from your home to your daughter's home in Keene, did you see that vehicle at all?
No, I did not.
Once you arrived at your daughter's home and you had this conversation with her about, did you get the Amber Alert too? What, if anything, did the two of you do?
We got in her car to leave to go to Vermont.
And who was driving?
She was driving.
Okay. And do you remember, I don't know if you know the roads or the streets that you took, but do you remember how it is that you started to head to Vermont?
I really don't know the streets.
Okay.
Sorry.
Not a problem at all. Your daughter was driving.
Correct.
Where were you seated in the car?
I was in the front passenger seat.
Okay. Now, did there come a time while you were driving and you were headed to what town in Vermont?
Brattleboro, she had just left a nursing home job, and she wanted to bring some stuff to people that were still there, blankets and stuff and candy.
So that morning, while you and your daughter are heading from Keene to Brattleboro, Vermont, did something unusual happen?
Yes, we actually had, the way I know, we were heading there, and we got to Chesterfield, and there's like I call them circles, rotary, and we went around the rotary, and as we went around the rotary, we were discussing the car and the license plate, and we proceeded up a hill. And when we're going up the hill, my daughter says, "Here comes a white Subaru." And I'm like, "How do you know?" You know, it's a Subaru. It's all her husband drives, is Subarus. And she goes, "Ooh, 6'9". Oh, no, there's a V. And I said, "No, it's V. It's for veteran, Victor, 69023. I said, "That's it. That's the car." And I told her to turn around real quick.
Okay, so you're heading from Keene towards Vermont.
Towards Vermont.
The Vermont border, or at Chesterfield is where you
Correct.
said you were. Okay,
Correct.
Are you already in Vermont at that point, or are you still in
No, we were still in New Hampshire.
At that point, when your daughter said that she saw the car, did you see the car?
I did see the car. I saw a white car. I couldn't tell you what it was, but we were both like looking for the license plate, and that's where she and I, she's like, "Oh no, there's a V." I said, "Yes, veteran V."
And that vehicle, which direction was that coming from? Was it traveling in the same direction as you, or from a different one?
No, it was headed towards Keene,
Okay.
and we turned around on the very next road to follow it.
Tell us about that. What happened when you tried to turn around and follow that car?
Well, she turned around, and we were at the end of a road waiting to turn out there. And there were cars coming down, and there were two vehicles in back of the white car, and a big old truck was coming, and she's like, "There's a truck coming." I said, "I don't care. Step on it. Go." It's fast. Go. And we did. We followed. We were 2 car lengths behind. Actually, we were the third. I'm sorry. But when we got to the circle and headed out, there were 2 lanes, so she got in the left lane so she could get in back of him, and she pulled back over into the right-hand lane. And I had called 911 just as we had turned and were heading down the hill.
Okay, so at the time that you were getting ready to pull out in front of that truck, you were already calling 911.
Correct.
On the phone with them.
Correct, I was.
And you and your daughter driving, so when I say you, I don't imply that you're driving, but
Right.
your vehicle was following this white car from a couple of lengths behind.
Correct.
Okay, at that point, when you were 3 cars, or the third car back, could you read the license plate to confirm it?
No, I couldn't. The dispatcher was asking me, "Can you see the license plate?" And I said, "No, not right now. We're getting as close as we can." And then finally we gotten back, and I was able to tell the license plate number. And a matter of fact, I even told them, they asked me if I was sure or something to that effect. And I said, "Well, I can tell you it's registered for the month of March. It has a number 3 sticker on it." And that's when they confirmed it.
Now, while you were behind that vehicle, once you got right behind him at the vehicle at the traffic circle,
Yeah.
could you tell anything about who was inside of that car?
I could see a gentleman driving, and he had a baseball cap on. I didn't see anything else other than that, and he was looking in the mirror, so I kind of put my phone down on my lap and put it on speaker because I didn't want him to know I was on the phone.
Okay, you could tell that the person was looking in their rear view mirror.
Yeah, they were looking rear view and side mirror.
Now, can you describe for us, like you're on the phone with 911, what are you telling 911 as you're behind this vehicle?
Just, they kept asking me where we were at, and I was giving them the best directions I could because I don't know the town of Keene, so my daughter was yelling things at me, "We're here, we're here." And then I knew we get up to the lights where the state police barracks were, so I told them we were at the state police barracks. And then we get to the next light, and I told them we were proceeding towards the next circle, oval, whatever rotary.
Okay, the rotary, traffic circle.
Yeah,
Those devices that don't necessarily work to control traffic.
correct.
Okay. Now, as you were driving, you just indicated the white Subaru drove right past the state police barracks?
Yes, it drove to the entrance of the state police barracks.
Okay. Did there come a time that while you were following that vehicle, the vehicle and you said, first of all, you dropped your phone down into your lap?
Yes, because I told the dispatcher, I said, I think he sees me on the phone, I'm afraid he,
Okay, members of the jury, there's an objection relative to hearsay, which I'm sustaining, and I'm instructing you to just disregard the last component of the witness's testimony relative to a hearsay statement.
So, Ms. Campbell, as you're testifying here today, right, we understand that you know what you told people, okay? But there is essentially a request that you not say what you told the dispatcher, just what you observed, okay?
so I observed, got you, okay?
Gotcha.
So,
So what you observed and what you were doing at the time that you were observing things, okay?
okay,
And though we understand that you were, is it fair to say that while all of these things were occurring, whatever you saw, whatever was happening, you were relaying that information to the 911 operator?
correct,
Okay. And you were doing that so that they would know where you were, what was happening, and your concerns about what you were doing, which was following a vehicle that was subject to an Amber Alert.
correct.
Okay. Now, Ms. Campbell, was there a time while you were following that vehicle that it came to a stop?
Inside the convenient MD, it came to a stop.
Okay, can you describe for us how that happened?
Like how we got there?
Yeah, how'd you get there?
We went down, I don't
It's
know
okay
the
if you don't
direction.
know street names,
Yeah,
but
we went around the first rotary and I explained that which direction we were headed towards McDonald's. And then there was another rotary and another rotary. And when we got to the last one, we went around it and the blinker was on to turn into
The
McDonald's.
blinker was on the Subaru that you were
On the
following?
Subaru.
Okay.
So, we were ready to turn into McDonald's, and at that point, my daughter said, here comes a police officer, and they were coming in the same,
Did you see a police officer come?
yes, there were police officers
Again,
coming
you
from
can't
every
testify-
direction.
Right, you've got to be careful about what you saw versus what other people saw or said.
Okay,
Okay, so did you see a police officer coming from the other direction?
yes, I did.
Okay. And then, so the directional, the blinker directional was on the Subaru, like they were gonna turn to McDonald's?
McDonald's,
Okay,
but,
And then a police officer came in towards you.
correct.
So what happened with respect respect to the white Subaru, did they turn into McDonald's?
No, they kept going and they turned into the convenient MD. And when they turned in, it heads down towards an Applebee's. And the car stopped right there.
Right there being where? At the
At-
convenient MD or at the Applebee's?
It's at the end of the convenient MD parking lot going into Applebee's. And they stayed there. So we stopped and I saw the gentleman looking in the mirror. And I told my daughter, I said, if this person gets up,
It's okay, what were you, so you had some concerns because you saw the person looking in the mirror?
correct.
Okay.
And
Then
the
once you-
Amber Alert said, oh gosh.
Approach, please. Hearsay objection sustained, but subject to rephrasing.
Ms. Campbell, after the car came to a stop, this white Subaru came to a stop at the Applebee's or in the entrance to the Applebee's, you and your daughter inside of your vehicle stopped. Is that fair to say?
Yes,
Okay, where did you stop?
probably about 10 or 15 feet behind the car.
Okay. And while you were stopped, you've testified that you observed the person looking in their mirrors.
Correct.
Okay. You waited inside of your vehicle at that point?
Yes.
Okay. While you were there waiting inside of your vehicle, did officers arrive on the scene?
No, because the car ended up pulling forward into Applebee's in parking.
Okay.
And-
Once that occurred, what happened with your car?
We proceeded into Applebee's parking lot as well and parked on the opposite side, kind of diagonal from that
Where you
vehicle.
could watch the vehicle?
Correct.
Okay. And your purpose for doing that, is it fair to say, is to make sure that if it left again, you were gonna follow it again? Okay.
Correct.
Did the vehicle leave again?
No, it stayed in the parking spot.
And did officers arrive at that time?
A lot of officers arrived at that time, and we were basically blocked in.
All right, and so you were there the entire time that officers were on scene at the Applebee's?
Correct.
Okay. Court's indulgence?
Certainly.
Person to approach. Ms. Campbell, I'm going to show you what is marked as for identification. As State's Exhibit 19A. I almost asked to borrow your glasses. As State's Exhibit 19A for this case. Can you take a look at that for me?
Yes,
Do you recognize that?
absolutely.
Okay, I know you haven't been shown this photo before. Is that fair to say?
No, never.
Okay, but what is depicted in this photograph?
The license plate that was on the Amber Alert and the white Subaru.
Is that the vehicle that you and your daughter followed that day?
Yes, and there's the number 3.
Oh, and you're pointing something out to me. So you're indicating the license plate number matches the number you've told us.
Right, and number 3 is the month that it was registered in.
Okay, so you can see the registration sticker on there as well that
Yes.
matches your recollection.
Correct.
Good morning, Ms. Campbell. I just have a few questions for you.
Okay.
You testified that you received the Amber Alert from your phone in the middle of the night.
Yeah, I don't know what time it went off.
Yeah, but it woke you up.
Correct.
Okay, and then you went back to sleep for a little bit. And you live in Bennington, New Hampshire, correct?
Correct.
And you had to drive later on that morning to meet your daughter in Keene, correct?
I had to meet her for 9 a.m.
Okay. And when when you woke up, you remembered about this Amber Alert and it was on your mind, right?
Correct.
Okay. So you were aware of the license plate number they were looking for
Correct.
in a white sedan,
White, yes, Subaru, I think they said, or,
white car, yeah. So when you're driving from Bennington to Keene, you're headed west, right? West toward the Vermont
Yes,
border? Okay. And when you are headed, you get to your daughter's who lives in Keene?
correct.
Okay. You switch cars?
Yes, we
Okay.
switched cars.
So she's driving her car, you're a passenger.
Correct.
A map, that might help. You recognize what that is?
Yeah, that's the Applebee's there. We came from, how do you tell? I think the road we came from was actually down here.
Fair enough, but can you see Brattleboro, Vermont, or the border at least for Vermont, New Hampshire in that map?
Where's Brattleboro? Oh, over here, correct, yes.
Okay. And so you were driving from Keene away from Concord, right? Away from Concord toward Vermont.
Away from Keene towards Vermont,
Right.
yes.
Concord
That, to me, that
east.
would be north. I'm kind of confused.
You were headed toward Vermont.
Correct.
From Keene with your daughter driving.
Correct.
Okay. And the white car with the veteran plate that you observed was headed from Vermont into Keene, correct?
Correct.
And so you don't know where it had been, but it was driving in the direction of Keene from Vermont, from the border of Vermont.
Correct.
Okay. And when you observed this car traveling, you started to follow it, right? Your daughter did.
Yes, we turned around.
And you observed that it was driving with the flow of traffic, right?
Correct.
Okay, normal speed.
Correct.
Nothing erratic or concerning.
No,
And you went through some rotaries, roundabouts, traffic circles, and at one point, the driver put his blinker on to turn into McDonald's, right?
that's where I thought he was turning into. That's where the blinker came on, was
Right.
just before McDonald's.
And McDonald's is just a few, I don't know, a mile or so up from Applebee's?
Oh, not even a mile.
Not even a mile, okay.
Couple buildings.
Couple buildings, okay, thank you. So, but it didn't turn into McDonald's, it kept going. And you said it went to the MD convenience, correct?
Yes.
Or convenience
Convenient MD, yes.
Which is sharing a parking plaza with Applebee's?
No, it's not sharing one. It has its own parking lot, but you can get from that parking lot to
Okay,
Applebee's.
thank you. So, it's the car you observed stopped in the parking lot for convenient MD
Yes.
for like, what, less than a minute?
I'd say about a minute.
Oh, okay. And you were just sort of, you and your daughter lingering behind in your own car?
Yes.
With 911 the whole time?
I was on with 911 the whole time until the police showed up.
And then after a minute, it drove down into Applebee's parking lot, you said?
Correct, to the left.
To the left and parked in a parking spot, right?
Correct.
Okay. And then you went also into the Applebee's parking lot?
But to the right
To
and
the right.
parked.
Parked, observed the scene.
Correct.
And then how long after that did the police show up and block you in?
They were there within seconds.
Okay.
I mean, I think, oh, never mind.
Okay. So, and then there was a lot of police activity, right?
A lot.
And the driver of that white vehicle did not try to flee, correct?
No, he did not.
Just see if I can update it. I don't have anything further, thank you.
Okay.
No, Your Honor.
No redirect, okay. Can Ms. Campbell be excused?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Thank you. Coach,
Yep. Not now, but either before or after, depending upon the circumstances at the time. just so that we have a ability to plan and understand what the next steps will be, okay?
Thank you, Madam.
All right, we'll be back at 11:20, thank you.
All right. This name calls Joel Velez. Sir, can you remain standing and raise your right hand? Do you swear that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth under the pain and penalty of perjury?
I do.
Thank you. Please take a seat. Sir, could you please tell us your name and spell your last name for the record?
Yes. Joel Velez, Velez.
Sir, where do you work?
I worked for the Keene Police Department
How long have you worked there?
just under 6 years.
Did you attend and graduate from the New Hampshire Police Academy?
I did.
What year?
2020.
What's your current role or rank with the Keene Police?
Patrol Division.
And just generally, what does that mean for you as a patrolman? What are your duties?
Respond to calls for service, protect life and property.
Officer Velez, on March 1st of 2024, were you scheduled to be on duty that day?
I was.
What shift were you working that day?
Day shift, 06:45 to 16:45.
So 6:45 in the morning to 4:45 in the afternoon?
That is correct, sir.
Before your shift, were you woken up by something in the morning?
I was.
What woke you up?
An Amber Alert that had gone statewide, I believe.
When you responded to, or when you went to the police station for work that day, did you receive some further information related to that Amber Alert?
We did. The whole shift did.
What information did you receive?
That the previous Amber Alert that had gone out had last pinged in Concord. The driver, registered owner of the car, Dustin Duren, was identified to us. Was believed to be driving a white Subaru Impreza, New Hampshire veteran registration, V69023. Was in the company of his 2 young children and was believed to be armed with at least 1 handgun.
Did the Keene Police subsequently receive some additional information related to that vehicle?
We did.
And what information was that?
At about 10 a.m., our dispatch fielded a call that someone believed they were traveling behind the car from the Amber Alert.
As a result of that call coming into dispatch, what did you do?
I immediately left the station.
Where did you go?
I was tasked by my sergeant to travel westbound on Route 101 towards Winchester Street.
And what was your purpose in traveling in that direction?
To intercept the vehicle.
That day, what were you wearing in terms of a uniform?
I was wearing a fully marked Keene Police Patrol uniform.
With a badge clearly visible?
Yes.
And what kind of car were you driving that day?
A fully marked Keene Police Patrol vehicle.
Did you get into your cruiser, your patrol vehicle, and start driving in that direction?
I did. I responded with a code 3, lights and sirens.
So lights and sirens activated. Was it just you in the car, or were there any other officers there?
I was the only one in that car.
Officer, I'm handing you what's marked for ID as states Exhibit 14. Can you take a look at this?
It's a map of Keene.
What section of Keene does this show?
So it shows Route 101, which runs east and west, Route 10, north and south, as well as the Winchester Street Key Road Rotary.
And there are a couple of notations here. There's a notation for an Applebee's and for a convenient MD. Do you see those?
Yes, I do.
Are those accurate with regard to where those businesses are in Keene?
Yes, they are.
And is this picture a fair and accurate representation of this section of the city of Keene, New Hampshire?
Yes, it is.
Your Honor, at this time, the state moves to strike the ID and introduce Exhibit 14.
The ID may be stricken with respect to Exhibit 14, and it shall be considered a full exhibit.
So officer, you should see it on the screen there. I'm gonna ask you to actually come down and step down from the witness stand.
Sure.
If you would. We have the map a little bit bigger here for the jury. If you could just stand up there and we're gonna, if you wait for the microphone coming to record your testimony. If you stand off to the side so the jury can see. And please just make sure you speak into the microphone. Officer, what do you see here?
It's a map of Keene.
Okay, what part of Keene?
Route 101 runs east and west. Route 10, north and south.
Where's the police station in relation to what you see here?
It's a bit further eastbound, up Route 101 here.
And you see, can you point out for the jury the convenient MD and the Applebee's? And can you point out for them the parking lot situation with those two areas? And are they connected at all?
They are. You can access here off of Winchester Street. You can access here off of Winchester Street. And then it's a shared parking lot for both. This little slip lane here will get you from convenient MD to Applebee's.
So officer, there are a couple of rotaries or traffic circles on this map, just for the record, and ask you about the larger one towards the bottom of the picture. What roads feed into that rotary?
The larger one here, Winchester Street, Route 101, east and west, and Route 10, south.
So it's fair to say that the road going south out of that traffic circle is Route 10, but the road going north is Winchester Street?
That's correct.
And is it 101 east and west on both sides?
That's correct.
If you were to travel west on Route 101, would that take you in the direction of Vermont?
It would.
And then, as you said, if you travel east on 101, that's further into the city of Keene towards the police department?
Correct.
I'm going to ask you a couple more questions about this. Is there a McDonald's somewhere
Yes, there is.
in the area? Can you point out where it is?
Sure. It's just north of the Key Road, Winchester Street Rotary, situated about here.
So you mentioned Key Road. Could you point that out with your finger for the jury?
Yep. This is Key Road, and it runs back into a shopping plaza.
So, officer, if there were a car traveling north from that larger traffic circle on Winchester Street towards the second traffic circle, the smaller one, could that car turn left into the convenient MD or Applebee's parking lot?
No.
Why not?
The median here separates the north and southbound travel. They would have to navigate the rotary and come back around.
So a car that was coming north out of the traffic circle of 101 and 10 would need to go up and around the second traffic circle to get back down to the Applebee's parking lot?
That's correct.
And then just to be clear, convenient MD and Applebee's both have parking lots, but it is possible to drive from one to the other without obstruction?
That is correct.
I think you can safely return back to the stand. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, officer, you told us that you were at the police station, then you began driving. What route did you take to get to, well, I'll ask you this. Did you go to this area that we see on the map?
I did.
And did you go there directly?
I did.
What road did you take to get there?
Route 101 westbound.
Okay. So, as you traveled on Route 101 westbound, did you eventually get to the area of the traffic circle with 101 and 10?
Yes.
And as you were driving, did you receive further information from dispatch about the location of that vehicle?
Yes, I did.
And what did that information tell you?
The initial reporting party had watched the car exit and begin northbound travel on Winchester Street towards the McDonald's.
And so when you received that update, was that while you were already in your cruiser
Yes, it was.
and you were en route, so to speak?
I was.
About how long did it take you to get from the police station to the area that we see here?
It couldn't have been more than, it was under a minute.
Could you tell us what happened when you got to this area? What did you see or do?
So as I approached the rotary in the slip lane for Winchester Street, and we got that information, I saw what looked to be a white Subaru Impreza begin traveling northbound. So rather than continue westbound, I started traveling northbound on Winchester Street as well.
You mentioned you saw a white vehicle, and at that point, did you know if it was the particular vehicle you were looking for?
I did not know at that time.
Where was this white vehicle that you saw? What direction was it traveling?
Northbound on Winchester Street toward the second rotary, Key Road, McDonald's.
Could you tell if it was coming from the eastbound, or was it traveling, or was it coming towards you from the west, or was it traveling in the same direction as you when it went north?
No, it was traveling from the west.
Okay, so coming in the opposite direction.
That's correct.
So you saw a white vehicle, what did you do next?
As I continued driving northbound, I maintained a visual on the vehicle. I watched it navigate the rotary. I sped up, accelerated, I navigated the rotary, and was able to get behind it, just maybe a couple cars lengths.
When you say you saw it navigate the rotary, which rotary are you referring to?
Winchester Street, Key Road.
Okay. So you've told us that you're not behind that vehicle. What happened next?
I could see the taillights as well as the rear license plate affixed to the car.
And did that, what was the license plate that you saw?
It's New Hampshire Veteran V69023.
What did you do next?
I followed it, preparing to make a motor vehicle stop, but it turned into the convenient MD Applebee's parking area.
Did you follow it?
I did.
What did that car do once it turned off the road into the parking lot area?
It came to a stop in one of the designated parking spaces.
What did you do?
I told dispatch where we were, and I read the license plate twice, I believe, and dispatch confirmed that that was the vehicle from the Amber Alert.
Why did you do that?
One, to confirm who I was likely going to take my gun out and point it at. And I had written it on my hand in the morning in roll call, but I had sweated it off.
So you wanted to confirm that
Yes.
was the right one? After you received that confirmation, what did you do?
Exited my cruiser as quickly as I could and raised my gun until it was level with the driver's side window.
Officer Velez, why did you take your gun out when you got out of your car?
The information that we received was that the driver, owner, operator, Dustin Duren, was believed to be armed with at least one handgun, and that he may have been involved in a shooting that morning.
So was that for your safety?
And anyone that was around, it's a fairly busy shopping plaza.
When you took your gun out and stepped out of your car, what was that vehicle doing?
It was parked.
Could you see anyone in the vehicle?
I could see the driver at the time clearly.
What happened next?
I began to give commands. I yelled out to the driver, hands, let me see your hands. Couldn't have been more than a couple of moments later, I was joined by some other officers.
So I want to set the scene. You are standing next to your cruiser, is that right?
I was.
And you had the door open?
I did.
Were you standing behind the door?
I was.
Why were you doing that?
To just give myself some sort of cover in case the suspect or the driver engaged me in a gunfight.
About how far away were you from that white vehicle?
I would say 2 car lengths.
Any obstructions between you and that car?
None.
When you began giving commands, what did the person in the car do?
He was compliant. He put his hands on the steering wheel so I could see both of them. And that was the last command I gave. They were taken over by another officer.
So other officers joined you?
Yes.
What were their names?
Officer Kyle Macy, Officer Nicholas Panel, and Sergeant Mark Cotton.
Did one of those officers take over giving commands to the individual in the car?
Yes, Officer Macy.
Did the individual in the car comply with those commands?
He did.
What did the individual in the car do as a result of those commands?
He exited the car, remained compliant. He walked backwards towards the sounds of our voices. He was placed up, he was put onto his knees and then taken into custody, secured into handcuffs.
From the time that that person came out of the car and the time that he was placed into handcuffs, did he say anything?
He did.
What did he say?
Initially, he said, "My kids are in the car," something to that effect.
Did he say anything else?
He did.
What did he say?
He said, "There's a pistol in the door."
Did you get close enough to that individual to observe him?
Yes, I did.
Do you see the person who came out of that car, who was driving that white car here in the courtroom today?
Yes, I do.
Could you please point him out and identify him by describing an article of clothing that he's wearing?
Sure. That would be the gentleman seated here with the glasses on.
Your Honor, may the record please reflect that the witness has identified the defendant?
The record shall so reflect.
So, to be clear, the defendant is the person who was taken out of that car and arrested?
Yes, he is.
After the defendant was taken out of that car and placed under arrest, did you have any further interaction with him?
I did.
What did you do?
I ultimately served as a transport car to bring him to the state police barracks.
Before that, after he came out of the car and when he was placed into handcuffs, what did you do?
I approached the car. I was instructed by my sergeant to collect the two young children that were in the backseat with Officer Panel.
At what point did you notice that there were children in the backseat?
Prior to the defendant being secured into handcuffs, one of the, I believe it was the infant, poked her head up.
Did you approach the car?
I did.
And which door did you go to?
The driver's side rear.
Okay. And when you got there, what did you see?
The infant was in the back, and she was just kind of lying in the car seat. She wasn't strapped in or anything like that. She was wearing a diaper. It was overflowing with feces, and her the older sibling.
Your Honor, can you approach?
Officer, you mentioned you saw an infant. Was there a second child?
Yes, there was.
And what was her condition when you saw her?
She was lying across the passenger side of the back seat, not buckled in. She looked terrified.
Officer, what did you do when you approached that car?
I opened the door. I asked Officer Panel to hand me a red flannel shirt so that I could wrap the infant up, and I took her to my cruiser, and I held her until EMS collected her from me.
I'm sorry, I think there's noise. You held there until...
EMS collected her from me.
Okay. Officer Velez, on the day that we're talking about, during the events that we discussed, were you equipped with a body-worn camera?
Yes, I was.
Okay. What is a body-worn camera?
Its purpose is to capture any incident that we respond to as patrol officers during the course of our shift.
Is it standard for you to wear that when you're on patrol?
It's policy.
Where is the body camera located on your person?
Essentially in the center of our uniform shirt.
So you're indicating in your hands kind of the center of your chest.
That's correct.
And when does that body camera turn on?
There's a couple different ways to activate it. We wear looks like a watch. It's a remote. We can activate it. Any rapid movement running will activate it. Our emergency blue lights will activate it.
Referring to March 1st of 2024, you said you were wearing a body camera.
I was.
Did that body camera activate at some point?
It did.
Why did it activate?
I started running out the door when dispatch advised of the caller behind the car.
And just one, I'm going to back up real quick. You mentioned that you wrapped that infant in a red flannel shirt. Where did that red flannel?
It was in the car.
Officer Velez, I'm showing you what's marked for ID. It states Exhibit 15.
Yes.
You recognize this?
Yes, I do.
What is that?
That is the recording captured on my body-worn camera.
So it's a CD, correct?
Yes,
And you reviewed the contents of the CD?
I have.
What is on the,
My body camera footage from the day in question.
okay. And is this, strike that, Your Honor, at this point, we've moved to introduce as a full exhibit, Case 15?
No objection.
The ID may be stricken with respect to Exhibit 15, and it shall be considered a full exhibit.
Now, officer, your body cam ran for quite some time this day, correct?
It did.
And that only captures a portion of the day that you were active, is that correct?
Correct.
And is it fair to say that this video on that CD ends right as you collect that infant from that car?
It does.
And before we play it, Officer Velez, does the body cam that you wear record volume?
It does after 30 seconds passes.
So when we start this video, will we hear audio right away?
No.
Why not?
You have to wait for the 30-second mark to elapse.
Okay, so the audio will come in after about 30 seconds?
Yes, it will.
Before we start it, Officer, when this video begins, where are you?
In my sergeant's office.
Okay, and is that at the Keene Police Station?
Yes, it is.
And then, just very briefly, when it starts, do you begin moving towards your cruiser?
I do.
And do you make a comment with a profanity in it?
I do.
And what is that comment?
I spilled my hot coffee on my hand, so it's something to the effect of, fuck, that's hot.
Okay. For the record, we're now playing State's Exhibit 15. Well, I screwed up, but I was just gonna pause it there briefly. Officer, you saw a couple of other officers that quickly began running. What happened there?
Dispatch had just told us that the caller was on the line behind the car.
I'm not gonna mess with it. to that infant until she was taken by EMS.
That's correct.
Was the other child also eventually given to EMS?
She was.
I have no more questions.
Just a couple, Officer Velez. When you pulled into the Applebee's, were you the first officer on scene?
I was.
Okay. And you confirmed that you were dealing with the correct subject of the Amber Alert, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And at that point, when you pulled in, you could just see the driver in the car?
Correct.
You didn't see any kids at that point when you just pulled in?
That's correct. It's fair to say, yes.
And you started yelling commands, and you told us on direct, and we saw in the video that the drivers complied.
That's correct.
Okay. And when the driver opened up the door, he did yell, "Kids in the car," correct?
When the driver did?
Yes.
Yes, he said something to that effect.
Okay. And then he also told you that there was a gun in the car as well.
Yes, ma'am.
And he actually said it's on the driver's side door.
He did.
Okay. And then we heard you on the body cam yelling, "Pay attention to us." Was that because the driver was looking back to the backseat?
So that was Officer Macy.
Oh, okay, thank
That's
you.
his voice.
Did you observe, though, the driver looking in the back at that point?
I don't recall, ma'am.
Okay. Was that your voice when you said "kids in the car"?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And that was when the infant popped her head up?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Nothing further, thank you.
Can you redirect?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Can Officer Velez step down?
Thank you.
May he be excused?
Yes.
Okay. All right.